some more, see some more, see some more. Soul gonna rise when I leave this corpse. Show you like a beast, wanna see some more? I'm gonna run it up, though you know your fun is up. James knew back when I was coming up, didn't wanna know then. Now I bet they loving us no more. No, R&R, the bar is raised. If you know me, now I can bar for days. Nothing to prove, cause I've done enough, lights out.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. One of two spots in the NFC title game awaits the winner here as we're underway in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Throwing from the outset is Penix. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
And that might have been a situation where even though you don't hit on the deep throw, you at least put in the defenders' minds early in the game that we're going to press the ball deep against your secondary. And that can have a ripple effect on how they function throughout.
Now Penix. And that is incomplete. They were trying to liven up this playoff game very early on. Pretty deep throw, but good coverage.
I think they were counting on the defenders being a little tight, a little over-anxious early, and trying to catch them flat-footed and get a big play.
Here's Penix. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Corum now on 1st and 10. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves them with a 3rd and 7 ahead. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
6 DBs on the field for Washington on 3rd down. And looking to throw, Penix. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A very solid gain of 27.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field, I could never anticipate the start before a race, but how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
And that one too wide and incomplete. Play number 9 now on this pretty long opening drive, but this is 3rd down. They'll throw with Penix. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Chase Young drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up 4th down. And And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. Not the touchdown they wanted, but, hey, you're on the road in the playoffs. They did get 3 on the board.
Yeah, it's a good opening drive, so you feel good about it yourself. You get to the sidelines. The defense feels good about you helping them right out of the gate. The team, yeah, they feel pretty good about coming in the playoffs and getting points on the board right away.
Play fake. Mayfield. Oh, this is going to be caught along the sidelines. Probably shouldn't have been caught. He's going to lose yardage there. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think it's safe to say that that was not his primary target when the ball was snapped, and then he led him too close to the sideline, and he ended up with a loss on the play.
Yeah, great toe tap. But you lose yardage, so you wish he didn't even have the toe tap. Wish he would have been out of bounds.
Yeah, catch it. Just make sure you're out of bounds, right? Just don't get it all down as he did there.
And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the first down. On the ground, it's a rookie from Texas Tech. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Mayfield now from the 50. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, the great coach has said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush won, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And he was able to shed 1 tackle, but could not get away from there. They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is 4th down. Mayfield to throw it. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The Commanders went for it, but they could not pick up the first. And the Cardinal defense is going to get the football back. The drive starts with a carry by Corum. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
And when you get into the divisional round of the playoffs, this is where having the ability to run the football is such an advantage. The defenses, they're generally going to be tougher the further you go along. So if you can get something established up front, it's going to give you a great chance to move on.
And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and very short.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Michael Penix, a 13-yard touchdown run. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Moody good with the extra point. And the lead grows to 10-0. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. out there setting ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They trail here early in this division round game as they seek a spot in the NFC title bout. Now he'll let this one go deep, right sideline. Oh, what a read on the outside as it's intercepted. And the Cardinals are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. They exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And, Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball. And that one was picked off.
Again, it's Corum, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
To the air, Penix. That is caught, and he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 18 on that one, and the Cardinals have a 1st down. A pretty sizable deficit here in the first quarter. This defense probably need to get off the field in those situations on 3rd down.
And you and I both know in this huddle before that last 3rd down play, that's exactly what they talked about. Let's make a play. Let's get off the field. Let's reverse the momentum. Instead, they got hit with another 1st down. Almost back to the drawing board.
No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and rake it and lock it free. They need to get some takeaways as well.
Man open left side. It's his running back with it. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 30. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. From Commanders' territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Looking to throw, Penix. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Commanders are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. It had been a near-perfect beginning to this football game. Already a double-digit lead first quarter, but their first misstep.
And you know how it is, partner. Sometimes when everything's going right, you start to feel like you can do just about anything you want on the field. This one didn't work out. If I were him, I'd go to my defensive captain and say, pick me up, my man. Help me out.
And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. Mayfield looks to throw. He's airing it out for Williams. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Ja'Cory Bennett has it, and the Cards are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10. And they work this out past the 25. 49 yards on the ground here for Harris. It's a 1st down. Well, they're making a real first quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it. You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
A play fake. Now Penix. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down. Operating from the gun, Penix. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. Here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, a give to Corum. And a lane slow materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Blake Gillikin on the punt now on 4th down. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And good coverage there by the punt team. They're able to get down there and drop him with authority. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
Mayfield. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Rough incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. It certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on 3rd down.
Good. Run.
To throw, Mayfield. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards to play.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
On 2nd down. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to wind up and air it out. Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Commanders are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track? He's got a man, complete. And all the way down to the 37. A huge play there for Washington. 47 yards. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Now a handoff running through the middle. Wiggles free. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. And the tight end goes in motion left. Mayfield now. He wants it all for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. Mayfield to throw for it on 4th. That's to his running back, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling. So this offense able to convert on 4th, and now a fresh set of downs here, 1st and 10. Powerful running, and able to use the stiff arm to gain leverage initially, but not much room thereafter. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. On the ground, it's Tucker. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line.
Well, obviously, they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. In motion right, that's Williams. Mayfield knocks this forward. It's a jet sweep. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards. The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Mayfield. And Mayfield again with the interception, his 3rd. Jacorian Bennett has it, and the Cardinals are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line.
And when a team advances as far as they did, got over the 50-yard line, don't you think that drive deserved a better ending? I think he needs to get with his coaches on the sidelines, make some immediate adjustments, and that's what you do. You don't wait. You do it from series to series, because drives like that, that end with a turnover, that's multiple times they picked him off already in this opening half.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. A gain of 32 that time. So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. They run straight ahead with Corum. Able to slither by. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. 63 yards rushing for him now as he has been strong here in the first half of this divisional round matchup. Play fake, and they'll throw with Penix. Steps away. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Jamin Davis. And the Commanders are going to take over here up near the 40. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Now here's a handoff out of the gun. He'll take this to the 46.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Washington. A great play there. 46 yards. And the Commanders have got it back to within a score. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. We'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Trey Palmer, 85 yards. And the Cardinals will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through. The Cardinals set now to kick this one away, and off we go. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Throwing, Mayfield. This is caught by Tucker. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Now Mayfield. Flushed out right. Well, he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. Back to throw now on 1st down. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Riley Moss. And the Cards are going to take over at their own 2-yard line. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And with a 17-7 lead, maybe they're just looking to get into the locker room. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
And with apologies to Dylan Thomas, apparently they're not going to go gently into the half. They're still out there firing haymakers. They took a chance on a deep ball there, but it winds up incomplete.
They'll throw again from their own end zone. That's complete. Rome Odunze. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half.
This offense is looking very comfortable here in this first half. Very relaxed, very smooth, very efficient. No wasted motions. Things are definitely going their way, and they continue to move the ball downfield.
And looking to throw, Penix. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Martin Emerson. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
Well, still some climbing left to do to get back to even, but forcing a turnover and getting the field goal there, that's a small step toward erasing the early deficit.
Absolutely. That interception field goal, that's the beginning of what they hope will be several steps towards erasing that deficit and building a lead of their own by the time this game is over.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one.
And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game, and to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
Now he's free at the 35. He may go. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Commanders.
A big play there.
70 yards. And the Commanders come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter.
McLaughlin now to add the PAT. And he gets it to go, and we're all even. 17 apiece. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Their halftime lead now evaporated. We're back to level following that touchdown a moment ago.
And that shouldn't change the mindset a whole lot from an offensive perspective because they already knew this was going to be a hard-fought game. Now they just need to go out, execute their game plan, and keep moving.
2 yards to go, second down. Here's Penix. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
Oh, that's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. That's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
They'll throw with Penix. Here's a diving catch right side. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. Running left, Corum. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 in second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Now Penix. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, it was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
First down marker at the 31. It's third down. From the shotgun, it's Penix. He's got his target. That's complete. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 28. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. Out of the gun, they give it to Corum. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Now a 2nd and 10. To the air, Penix. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Paulson Adebo. And the Commanders are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. And a really good show of force there as he gets through for 4 tough yards.
But you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on first down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6.
Hey, alert, 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 alert. What's up?
Mayfield off the play fake. He's airing it out for Williams. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Here's Tucker, complete on the right side. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on third down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll get this just across the 25-yard line.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. Well, let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
Mayfield looks to throw. Flush to his right. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
Hey, alert 33. What's that?
Mayfield to throw it. That is caught. He's going to have the first down and then some. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Well, forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Here's a give up the middle. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Play action now. Here's Mayfield. Eluding the pressure right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing to no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
There's a quarterback who's learned his lesson. He's thrown a few interceptions so far. That time he said, I'm making sure nobody catches this one.
Well, they need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. To throw, Mayfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And with that, they take the lead here 20-17. So the defense able to force the interception, and the offense working their way into field goal range and able to get 3 out of it.
Yeah, and give them credit for that. They took the ball, maneuvered it downfield, and while they couldn't get exactly what they wanted, which was a touchdown, they did get 3 points out of it. So they paid off what the defense gave them. Both sides will be thrilled with that.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. But not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Looking to throw, Penix. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. He gets it over the middle to Palmer. And they can't bring him down. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Jerome Baker there on the tackle. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defender...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will bring this one back. An interception return for a Commanders touchdown. Well, CD, we have seen it many times throughout the course of the season. This defense coming up large and snagging a big takeaway. But here they get not just the takeaway, 6 points as well.
And you just knew that for this team to advance, it had to get a big performance from this unit. And to this point, they've delivered.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. After the pick six, they go right back to the air. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Martin Emerson. And he will bring this one back. An interception return for a Commanders touchdown. Well, Charles, just some visibly frustrated players and coaches on that sideline right now because those halftime adjustments didn't work. The turnover problems continuing here in the second half, and the defense now sitting pretty comfortably as a result of that pick six.
Hey, that's a great observation too, Brandon, because they did make adjustments at halftime. But how about this other group staying a step ahead despite whatever happened in that other locker room? No surprise they're leading, and it's appropriate that those defenders got to add to the lead directly.
The extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. 1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Washington with the football and the lead as we start the fourth. McLaughlin now to kick this one away. And a pretty poor return as he will dive to the ground to give himself up. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Their hopes of advancing past this divisional round hanging by a thread, if that, as they begin here with a 1st and 10 on the wrong side of the scoreboard. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
This has obviously been a bad loss, but one of the few things they can still do is try and throw the ball all the way to the end zone and get some points on the board so they're not shut out over the final 2 quarters of this game.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. He's going to float this over the middle, deep. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Martin Emerson. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line.
And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Mayfield now. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. A great effort there. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Commanders are moving closer to a date now in the NFC Championship game as they're able to extend this fourth quarter lead. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And the lead is now 24. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Jamin Davis. So they take over not only in enemy territory, but in the red zone at the 16-yard line. Another solid game-changing play for this defense with the interception. At this point, though, I don't know that it's game-changing. I mean, they've got this one in firm control.
And you always hear about, you know, those stories about someone left their game plan behind and maybe you benefit from it. I'm not going to say that that happened, but they certainly have appeared on defense to be a step ahead this entire game. Guys are always in the right spot in order to make a play.
The offense has had its moments, too. Following the interception, Mayfield. He's got it to Williams. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown. Rashee Rice, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Commanders continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. Yeah, he is going to dive to the turf. Boy, a strange return there. And they're going to start with really terrible field position. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. The offense on third down tonight, they're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
That incompletion brings us one step closer to the end of this one. Maybe mercifully, partner. And let's face it, though, no surprise, they're still flinging it around. They have pride, too.
On the bootleg, it's Penix.
He's going to let this one go deep. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Cardinals unable to convert there on 4th down. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. That kind of looked like a defense fed up by being gashed in the running game all night.
Yeah, and imagine their coach saying, if you're fed up on that play, where were you the rest of the time? What took you so long? But flip it over to the offensive side. They've been dominating this thing, and to finally have a play go against them, that's not something that's going to make them feel very good this evening.
5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
And his kick is indeed good. So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
After the made field goal, here's McLaughlin back out there to kick it away. And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. They knew this would be tough on the road divisional round, and that has certainly been the case with the deficit they face in this 4th quarter. This to the sideline and over everybody, incomplete. No flags forthcoming, though. Maybe a break there. That looked like a clear throwaway to me. Penix working out of the gun here. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Antonio Johnson. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down. Now Mayfield. That'll be caught by Rice. Uses the spin. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 13 yards there and a Washington first. Well, fans expect these primetime slots to deliver some of the best games each week. And, well, one team has certainly followed through with that tonight. Just an absolute clinic, Charles, on offense here. And they don't seem to be done trying to drive that foot.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
And right now, Charles, I think you'd have to say their class starting to show through.
Yeah, they were disappointed not to get the #1 seed in the playoffs, but the reality is these guys can play anywhere. It doesn't matter for them.
And if they can indeed hold on to this lead, that's going to set up one heck of a championship game next Sunday.
Let's come back and watch it, shall we?
Something tells me you and I are going to be there. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Open man, it's Palmer. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Penix. A short one here, caught by McBride. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone.
This is caught inside the 15. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. A great play there. 49 yards. And the Cardinals get a small measure of... Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it.
Again, they went for the fake off of the extra point attempt. It's a long way to go, and they didn't get there. Didn't get it completed successfully. Did someone dare them to do that? Did someone double dog dare them
I was
to do
going to
that?
ask you,
What
maybe they saw something on film, but do you see something on film with those to try something from the 15 on a PAT? I don't know.
The only thing they needed to see on film there was a snap, a hold, and someone kicking the ball through the post.
And this is going to be covered up by Washington.
And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
We're all about the numbers.
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie.
136 yards rushing for him now as he's done it on 19 carries.
And that's a great run, and this is where you've got a running back that feels like he needs to take over this football game. You're in the second half, you got the lead, you're looking at moving on to the conference championship, and he's got to be saying, just keep giving me the ball, and I'll get us home.
Has some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. And they're moving on to the conference championship. How about them?